Network. My name's Stuart Brisgell, running solo because I ditched my partner, David Solomon, on an earlier broadcast time because I got tied up. It's a little busy, with this part-time life thing that we've got to take care of. All right, we spoke the other day about Nancy Pelosi and her defiant visit to Taiwan. And in that last broadcast, we actually, believe it or not, applauded the number 3 in the US government and probably the number 3 least liked person by me in the US government. But all kidding aside, I can take one on the chin and agree that Nancy Pelosi did what I believe was the right thing, showing up and actually being counted, right? She went to Taiwan against the military's objection, the broader government's objection, which, by the way, is her government, the Biden government, and against China's request, against Russia's request, against pretty much everyone that we're going to call the new axis of evil. Why am I using evil? Well, if you think China isn't an evil country, well, they don't believe in women's rights. They don't believe in freedom of religion. They don't believe in just about anything that any normal Democrat or Republican believes in. They don't believe in freedom of speech. They don't believe in freedom to assemble. They don't believe you can have as many kids as you want and when you want them. They don't believe in probably intersex marriages. Sorry, all you LGBTQ people. That's just a fact. Your rights in America or Canada or most of the common Western world far exceed any of your expectations that you'll have in China. Now, why is Moscow, right? Moscow meaning Russia, in addition to China, criticizing Nancy Pelosi? I don't know. Maybe it has to do with the fact that she showed up and represented the Western world. It is not okay, Putin, to invade the Ukraine. You find that in politics, these politicians like to do what is good for them. Nancy Pelosi is on the cusp of the end of her career, not only because she's as old as time is, she is literally one vote away from losing her illustrious power seat that has allowed her to amass a fortune of $20+ million, has allowed her and her husband to do what you and I would call insider trading. But she still showed in Taiwan. So all this negativity about Nancy Pelosi that we've been yelping about for literally a year and a half, she actually gets my double thumbs up. Not just one, two. So now the question is, why is our President of the United States being an invertebrate in lockdown because of his reoccurrence of COVID, which the man has more vaccinations and more booster shots than any living human being, with probably the best medical team at all times? Why hasn't the press secretary gone on the record and say, thank you, Nancy Pelosi, for being someone with strength and courage to stand up against good old China? Why didn't Harris, our vice president, the first black vice president, who I believe is a complete and utter moron, very smart woman, but very stupid, the woman who says that the border is good and everything is fine when she's never stepped a foot in the border. But again, where is her voice saying, thank you, Nancy Pelosi, for having balls, right? Biden has no balls and none of his handlers do because they're too busy making the money off the insider, or I call insider trading. Again, finance guy, insider trading, criminal offense. I'm not a judge, not a jury, not a prosecutor, and not a person that can convict someone of any of these sorts. But when you're able to buy Tesla stock knowing they're going to build a new factory, well, kind of like got regulatory approval in advance of this, well, it's kind of what I'd call insider legal trading. Yes, Congress decided to vote themselves so that they can do this as a byproduct of their jobs. If you don't like it, you need to start emailing about it. But, because of this, China is doing all types of military stuff all around Taiwan. But Nancy still remains. Nancy said she will stand steadfast with the Taiwanese people and that they are a beacon in a world of CCP, Communist China. Now, why do I not find it surprising that Russia is agreeing with China? Because Russia is clearly being backed by China in its incursion in the Ukraine. Because let's face it, if the second largest or third largest military power on earth can't infiltrate one country right on its neighbor without crossing a sea or water, you have to wonder what has happened to that country. And that's Putin. You know, Putin, probably the wealthiest man in the world, next to only one other person, Xi Jinping. These two dictators control everything in their countries. And is it funny or not that you find now Iran and Palestinians all agreeing with this new axis of evil? North Korea has been somewhat quiet on the subject, but they're right there. So again, last episode on Monday, I brought up the fact that Russia declared war economically by trying to starve the world, by denying the world ammonium nitrate. Now, China is going to deny the building of a new plant of their competitor battery company in the United States. Why is now this becoming a financial threat? Because these congressmen, these politicians make money every time they know about a deal. They want to be front row to buy the shares of the company, own the land around it, be able to be a part of it where you and I can't. So when you hear the Democratic Party yelp and scream that the Republicans are the enemy because we're the inclusionary group as a Democrat, they're not. You know, Pelosi isn't expected to meet with the South Korean president this time round. But you know what? What do you think is going to happen when another senior government official shows up in South Korea? You know, I believe that the only way the United States and the Western world remain a beacon of light to places like Russia, China, North Korea, right? Iran, is when we stand up to these bullies. And these bullies, literally bullies, are in cahoots with these people that you call your elected officials. You know, the Biden family, how much money do you think they made from China? How much money do you think they made off of knowing about these insider deals and paying the big man, President Joe Biden, then Vice President Joe Biden? Influence peddling is a constant theme. But again, Pelosi, the queen of all peddling, actually did what no other person senior to her, the other two leading people in her party, would do. So, Nancy Pelosi, I know it's the end of your career, and I haven't been a fan. I don't think you've done a single thing that I've liked till yesterday. And if you keep doing these things, you'll take off a lot of X's that I have next to the things that you did wrong. Until then, you just get 1 star from me. I know my partner, David Solomon, who would have loved to have been here, you know, at least his text message says, you got to run it alone. He knows how much I enjoy pitting off of him and playing on him and being the guy to go off topic. I don't have anyone to go off topic with now. It's all about Pelosi. If you have anything to add about Pelosi, add it to the thread. It's time to be counted. Where is your local congressman? Why haven't they taken their trip to Taiwan? Why hasn't the United States officially recognized Taiwan as a separate sovereign state? Why hasn't Canada recognized Taiwan as a sovereign country, right? It's not just the United States. We're the leader in it. But when you say that to a guy in Canada, they get all upset and hissy. Any of the British Commonwealth are. It will take the fortitude of all the world leaders to say, we stand with you, Taiwan, as we stand with the Ukraine. If you don't stand up to a bully, the bully's going to keep going. He isn't going to stop. It's a snake. You got to cut the head off. And that doesn't mean getting rid of the president or leader of that country. It's by teaching them a lesson that we will not stand by. That is what the people that created this country in the United States, or the people that created Canada, or created the Great Britain, there was blood. There was disagreement, brother against brother. It took the fortitude of people to stand up in the world to bullies. China, you see all of this. You have embedded into every walk of every North American life. You try and manipulate us. You know, if you watch a TikTok in the United States, they're goofy, they're racy, they incite violence, they incite stupidity. If you watch the same TikTok in China, you see military, athletes, exemplary representation of the Chinese Mongolian life. I call it Mongolian. It's probably Mongro. I think it's Mongro. Close, but not Mongolian. It's Mongro. So why is it we allow China to bully us in America? You in Canada, Australia, England, France, Germany, Italy. Why? They are not the almighty. You are. You, the people. We, the people. We must push our politicians and request that they be counted on, stand up to. Now, oh no, I don't want a world war. Mutual annihilation seems to be the prevailing rule of thumb, which is why no one is willing to do it. And I don't believe any of these world leaders are that crazy to do it. But if you allow them enough time, they might. So you need to set the example now. You've got Taiwan, you have the Ukraine. Two different parts of the world, the same problem. A communist country bullying its neighbor, using every single tactic it knows. Economic, right? Public. It's not jawboning, it's threatening. On that note, guys, I've ranted almost a whole quarter hour without David interrupting me, without David telling me to get back on topic. But I ask you, maybe even if you're a hard right-wing guy or girl, or an extreme left-wing boy or girl, send an email to your local politician. Send an email to Pelosi thanking her for representing the United States, the free world, in defending Taiwan. If we don't, our liberties will be gone. Don't get hung up on a Roe v. Wade, a Republic decision. Then you live in a state that restricts you, or you feel it restricts you in some way. You could always live in China and be even more restricted and lose even more freedoms. Because the day you don't stand up to the bully is the day you will lose your rights. Thank you all for your time. Hopefully you'll see David and I this Friday. We'll rant about probably my stupid rant and my off-topic conversation. And I love you guys. We appreciate you. We want to keep coming back. We love the emails. We love the messages. I understand it's difficult to tune in live. We see the broadcast numbers, the rebroadcast, the forwards. We love it. And to my cousin Rupert, your Pelosi did something right. I think she was in office when you were helping out the Kennedys. Just joking. Have a good day, guys.